There are moments in Teen Wolf where the supernatural stops feeling like fiction and becomes something darker, something personal, something human, and no moment captures that better than the transformation of Stiles Stilinski, the heart of the pack, into the vessel of a chaos-driven spirit. This is the story of Void Stiles, a story of possession, identity, and the terrifying idea that the darkest version of yourself might be the one you can't escape. Void Stiles refers to the malevolent version of Stiles in Season 3B, the version played with chilling precision by Dylan O'Brien. He becomes possessed by the Nogitsune, a 1,000-year-old dark kitsune spirit that feeds on chaos, strife, and pain. But to understand Void Stiles, you have to understand how the Nogitsune got inside him in the first place. The Nogitsune was never meant to return. It was sealed away centuries ago, but when Scott, Allison, and Stiles performed the surrogate sacrifice ritual to save their parents, they unintentionally weakened the barrier that kept the spirit trapped. A crack formed, and the Nogitsune slipped through. The spirit didn't take over instantly. It started slowly: sleep deprivation, confusion, lost time, hallucinations. The Nogitsune didn't overpower Stiles. It eroded him, piece by piece, until the moment Stiles' mind finally broke and the spirit stepped in. In the end, it took Scott's loyalty and Lydia's connection to Stiles to rip the Nogitsune out of him. For a moment, Stiles and the spirit existed separately, a reminder that the darkness inside him had been real, and that it could have stayed. After the sacrifice at the Nemeton, Stiles is left with a lingering darkness, a shadow in his subconscious that never fully fades. This darkness becomes the doorway. The Nogitsune latches onto him quietly, masking its influence as harmless sleepwalking, as innocent blackouts, as moments Stiles can't explain. But these aren't accidents, they're tests. The spirit is learning him, studying him, using his own mind as a battlefield. Stiles begins committing destructive acts without remembering them. The Nogitsune is already in control, long before anyone realizes it. Once the Nogitsune achieves full control, Stiles is gone. What remains is Void Stiles, a perfect fusion of Stiles' intelligence and the Nogitsune's cruelty. He knows everything Stiles knows. Every weakness, every fear, every person he loves, and he uses all of it. Void Stiles is calm, calculated, cold. He doesn't lash out. He plays with his victims like pieces on a board. He doesn't want to kill you. He wants to break you. Void Stiles is highly manipulative. He uses his deep knowledge of the pack to outsmart them, turning friends against each other and twisting every situation into chaos. He gains control of the Oni, supernatural demonic warriors, and uses them as weapons. He infiltrates Aiken House. He spreads fear across Beacon Hills. Every move is calculated to cause maximum pain. This arc became one of the most celebrated in the entire series, not just for the writing, but for Dylan O'Brien's performance. The micro expressions, the voice changes, the posture, the way he could switch from beloved, sarcastic Stiles to a chilling, emotionless villain in a single breath. Void Stiles wasn't just a character, he was a phenomenon. To save Stiles without killing him, Scott and Lydia devise a desperate plan. Using an Oni blade, they physically sever the Nogitsune from Stiles, splitting them into two distinct beings. Stiles is left weakened, traumatized, and unsure of what parts of him were real, and what parts belonged to the darkness. The pack destroys the Nogitsune, but the scars it left behind never fully fade. Even after the Nogitsune is gone, a part of Void Stiles remains. The trauma, the memories, the fear that it could happen again. Stiles survived the possession, but he was never the same, and maybe that's the real horror of Void Stiles. Not the chaos he caused, but the scars he left behind.